Welcome to Bass Talk with Hagen and Hayes. This is Series 3, and today is a bite-sized podcast about Teppo Hauta-aho. Hi, Susan, how are you?
I'm well, David. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Tell me about Teppo Hauta-aho.
Well, Teppo Hauta-aho is someone that I embarrassingly didn't know much about until several years ago when I met you. Um, Now I find him to be so inspirational. It's just wonderful. He was such a prolific, the most prolific double bass composer. He's from Finland.
Yes.
And I love that he played both classically and jazz because I think that comes through in the music that he wrote.
I first heard his name in 1982 at the Isle of Man bass competition. And one of the competitors, Esko Laine, who was a Finnish bass player now in the Berlin Philharmonic, and he played Cadenza by Teppo. And really, his iconic piece. And then 4 years later, I studied in Prague with Posta. And Teppo studied with František Posta 20 years before me. And Frank always said, you should contact Teppo, you become good friends. And we did. And he contacted me one day. I couldn't believe this world famous bass player was contacting me. And we became great friends, and I became his publisher. And he wrote many pieces for me and my students. He used to come to Bass Fest. There'd always be a Teppo concert. I organized Teppo Fest for his 65th, 70th, 75th birthday. I commissioned pieces from him. And so he is great. So which pieces have you played of Teppo's?
Well, I have worked on Cadenza, though I haven't performed it. And I've actually played more pieces that were dedicated to him than pieces that were written by him, which is kind of cool, but also makes me realize I'm lacking in having learned his music. If there were a Teppo novice, what would you encourage them? Is there a certain order for the pieces that you would think people should learn?
There are some really nice pizzicato pieces by Teppo. He was like Tony Osborne. He could write really interesting music, only using a certain number of notes, certain number of positions. And there's Jazz Sonatine number 1. I think is mainly in first and second position, but it doesn't sound like it. It's fantastic. But he really wrote some amazing music, and he would always come to Bass Fest. I would always play something new, and we played many quartets by him, and he wrote a piece for 16 basses, a really nice piece, except 4 of the parts were doubling parts. So I said, "Are you sure it needs to be 16 basses?" We settled on 12, and it's mainly in harmonics, just with a few pizzicato chords. Really glorious. He said it's the only piece of his which was minimalist, which was really good. And you and I played Guillotine Bassa too, didn't we?
Oh, I loved that piece. Yes, that was a great one. I've taught a couple of the pizzicato pieces that he's done to some of my Berkeley students. And in fact, this is a secret, and now I'm telling everyone. I'm trying to get a new class to run at Berkeley that would be all about pizzicato, different styles and sounds that we make.
Oh, great idea.
And I would use a lot of his music as teaching tools because I just think it's great. It's wonderful music. And I love all the different kinds of harmonics and sound effects that he makes use of to let people really hear the bass itself and what it can do.
And there are so many pieces from absolute beginners, really from open strings right up to the virtuoso. That's the main thing. And unfortunately for Teppo, Cadenza is the one that everybody knows. And so many people don't know he wrote anything else. It's such a shame. So I'm always trying to promote his music and play his music and let everybody know. And his very final piece was written for me for a 60th birthday present, which was so nice, which I think you performed. You did the
I performed that one. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's a great piece. I love that piece.
So simple, but so few notes, but says so much.
Yeah.
And
And to me, I love that you and he had such a good, close friendship because if you loved him, then I know I would have loved him. I was sad I never did get to meet him because I had hoped to, but he passed away far too soon. But
What I think was interesting was during lockdown, I was teaching one of my students, Tom, and he was learning cadenza, and I was just teaching cadenza, and the phone rang. So hang on a second, Tom. So I picked the phone up. Hi, oh, it's Teppo. Oh, hi, Teppo. How are you? And I said, I've got Tom online. He's just playing cadenza, and Teppo said, say hello to Tom for me. So Teppo said hello, Tom. say hello back for me. So Tom says hello. And I said, that's so surreal that you're learning his piece when the composer phoned me. And he was amazing. And I always say to my students, you would have loved Teppo and he would have loved you. He was such a loving character. He really was, and fantastic at what he did. He was like a clown as well. He's an 8-year-old in the body of an 80-year-old. He didn't grow up, but he's so serious about his music and his playing. I mean,
Right. I loved that there was the project of pieces dedicated to Frank Proto and Teppo, who both turned 80 in the same year, and
exactly.
that
Yes.
that was a great homage. But I love the stories that you've told me about him, and at some point I'm gonna hear you perform one of his pieces live and in person. I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah. I'll play next time we meet up. I'll play some pieces. But we played Giottino Bassa too, which is just pizzicato.
Loved that.
Yours.
I loved that.
And it's a nice piece, isn't it?
Those were fun. It even had a little bit of room for improvisation in some of his pieces, which I love that.
Exactly.
Lets me out of my comfort zone. Well, I think this is a great first bite-sized podcast, and I hope everybody tunes into all the others. Thank you to Double Bass Headquarters and GraceGalleryDesign.net. Check out our next little bite-sized podcasts. See you soon, everyone.
Bye.